Howdy, y'all. How y'all doing? This is rSpace here. In this here episode, we got a story about a girlfriend who cheated on a dude, and they got a kid together. Ain't that a shame? Let's see what's going on, shall we? I bet you thought I was going to read the whole thing like that, didn't you? Just kidding. Here's the title, though. My girlfriend, 31, cheated on me. Male, 27. Together 8.5 years and have a 2-year-old daughter. We've been together for 8.5 years and have a 2.5-year-old little girl. I had my suspicions for years, but within the last 4 months, I've been checking her Facebook through an old phone that was still logged in. The first troubling thing I noticed was her reaching out to guys for conversation. 90% of them were after midnight. Nothing too terrible, but just a, hey, how are you doing? I miss your face, long time no talk, etc. Also, there were a few times where she gave them her phone number to not really mess with Facebook. I didn't have proof that she was cheating and didn't want to bring it up to her that I was invading her privacy, so I said nothing for the time. I would check in on Facebook every few weeks periodically and started to notice deleted messages. They would pop up on the notification, but when you go to pull it up, they were deleted. We met while partying way back when we were younger. I slowed down as I had gotten a decent job that required me to work more hours. She had not slowed down much and was going to a bar every weekend. This was a neighborhood bar that a lot of friends in our circle frequented, mostly hers. I guess you can say acquaintances of mine. 70% of the time, her brother or good guy friends were with her, so I felt comfortable with her being there without me for the most part. In November, I called her at about 10 o'clock when her store closed at 9 to see where she was on her way home to me and our daughter. She then texted me and said she was swinging by the bar for a few drinks. Disappointed, but not unusual. My daughter finally fell asleep about 11, and I had worked since 3 a.m. that day, so I fell asleep with her. I wake up at 4:30 a.m., and she's still not home. She normally stays up until 5 a.m., and this has happened before, but I'm still concerned, so I call her. She answers the phone drunk and says it's not good. She said she's talking to the cops and she has to get off the phone. I asked her where she's at for me to maybe help the situation, or at least not let the car get towed. She was with a guy friend of both of us and her brothers, and said she was taking him home somewhere around his house. After talking to her brother and trying to find her, we finally pull up to the scene. She was arrested and brought to jail for DUI. Car was already being towed and her guy friend was in the truck with her brother. The car was off in some random neighborhood nowhere near the guy's house and was reported as a suspicious vehicle that was left running. It was very late at night, and trying to deal with the situation at hand, I was just trying to get my child's mother out of jail and get my car back. Talked to her brother after I had gotten home and got the guy's side of the story, according to her brother. After I had bonded her out of jail and talked to her to get her side of the story, they didn't match up. Both were lying. I knew something was wrong. I told her immediately that that's not what I heard what happened. Then she just chopped it up too. I don't remember if I was drunk. I bring her home and she stays at the house with our daughter while I go get the car out of impound with her brother. On the ride there, I told him that the two stories don't match up and he had his suspicions, but didn't want to jump to conclusions. I go get the car and open up the car and find her panties sitting there on the seat. My heart sank to the floor. I showed her brother, and he still had suspicions and said he was going to figure it out from the other guy. After I brought the car home, I went into the laundry basket to see if she came home with any panties, and she didn't. I brought her outside to it and asked her about it. She had just recently stayed the night at her dad's and said that the cops went through her bag of clothes. I didn't believe her, but had no proof. She acted disgusted that I even asked and said that she never cheated on me right to my face, looking me in the eyes. I apologized and said it doesn't look good, so that's why I asked. A few months later, it's January and a day before my birthday. I had my best friend and his brother come by for a few drinks. I had a little too much and passed out, but I noticed my best friend's brother eyeing up my girlfriend. I woke up feeling a little suspicious, but I took my girlfriend to work because she can't drive right now. I look into her old phone with Facebook after I drop her off. My best friend's brother was trying to hit on her through Facebook after I fell asleep for the whole night. She didn't really flirt back, but she also didn't give the response that I would have liked. Then I noticed 2 other guys whose messages were deleted. She sets both of them up in ghost mode where the messages would delete automatically. They were messaging up to 5:30 a.m. and were long conversations. One of the guys was the guy she had got arrested that night. The other guy was the guy that she had been deleting the messages from for a few months, even before the DUI. I told her I saw the messages between all 3 guys over the texts. She confessed about my friend's brother, but acted confused and didn't know what I was talking about with the other 2. I just texted her back and said, okay, and then she folds, saying, I don't know what you read, but I'm sorry and I love you and don't want to break up our family. I asked her to confess because I still had no solid proof and the messages were deleted. I didn't let her know that though. She messages, the DUI? And I message back everything. She says, you would have to ask. I don't know what you mean. I told her, how can I believe you if you can't even confess what you did? I already know I have the messages. She said it was mostly just words and it was just dumb crap. I said what words, and to who, and what happened with the DUI. She says, I don't know, people, I don't even know why. 4 of this same stuff just going back and forth. I told her I will see her when I pick her up from work. We get home and go out back to talk about it. I kept telling her I saw the messages and needed her to confess. She admitted to sleeping with him that night of the DUI, and with the other guy that she's been deleting the messages has just been saying explicit stuff. I forgot to mention that there was another guy regularly at the bar. We've both been trying to deal with this for 2 weeks, and it's still hard. She keeps saying she wants to move forward and not look in the past, but it's hard to get it out of my mind. All of the lies and the betrayal, I did everything I could have for our relationship. I feel like I can't trust anybody, but I do love her. I told her we will try to make it work, but it eats me every day. Honestly, I think the only thing holding us together is our daughter now. I came from a broken family and don't want her to live like that. I don't know if I feel weak for staying or strong for trying to make it work. She says it's easy for you to just walk away, and I think that is true, so I want her to take the harder path to give it everything I can. This is not the first time she's lied to me. She has lied about phone numbers being guys, saying it was her cousin's. She's also lied about where she was at. Her brother called me to say she was up to no good, that I should go check on her, pull up to the bar at the same time as her with another guy in the car. She drove away and said it was nothing, but her actions didn't tell me that. Those 2 incidents were before our daughter, and I thought that would have brought a new chapter to our world. I guess not, but I still feel like it wouldn't have happened to me. I'm lost. Please help. I don't know about you guys, but I can see the writing on the wall. But let's see what the community thinks. Switchboard Friend says, sometimes on this sub, people post the very simple advice. Run, just run. And I've never really got it before. Yours is the first case I've seen where this advice is undeniable. You may have been in a relationship for 8.5 years, but she never was. She has been single all this time and used your home as a base of operations. Whatever you're doing, stop. You need at least a month of no contact with her to sort out your feelings. Have her stay with her brother. Any decision you make now, whilst you are off kilter, may not look quite so good in the future. You need to make the best decision you can for yourself and your daughter. When you have had some processing time, then contact a lawyer. Get an STI check and DNA your daughter. You need to be serious and show her that you are serious. If you intend to reconcile, and heck knows why you would, then she cannot get away with any one of her many infidelities without consequence. What you already know is awful, but it's only the tip of the iceberg. Every man that you mentioned that has tried has succeeded in getting with her. There will be more. The night of the DUI? This is what she has been doing for the last 8.5 years, every time she goes out, and it was blind chance that she got caught. After acting this way for so long, she may not be capable of acting any other way. It has been going on for so long that she may not even understand that you didn't know. Her response to everything was telling. She has misbehaved so often and so many times that she genuinely didn't know which infidelity you were talking about. Was it from this week's, last week's, or some years ago? Please stay strong for your daughter and look out after yourself, both physically and mentally. It's going to be very bad, but with support from those around you that care, you'll pull through. The OP comes back. This hits so hard. I'm having a rough time and she really does seem remorseful and says that she will change everything to try and keep me and our family together. She knows how well I treat her and our daughter, and me leaving is a reality to her now. Switchboard Friend comes back again with, everything she says at this point is hollow damage controlling nonsense. She's just trying to avoid any consequences. She's been like this for 8.5 years and her behavior is ingrained in her. This is why no contact is so important. You need to make decisions without her lies, gaslighting, and false promises. She does know how well you treat her. It just isn't as important as her primary life away from you. She loves your wallet and the free childcare. If she could split up with you and keep the wallet, then she wouldn't be protesting. Fallen 1 millisecond chimes in with, hey man, don't stay for the kids. You'll mess them up for life. You set examples for your children. You show them dysfunction and they will take it like a duck to water. They will believe that a relationship where one partner simultaneously loves and hates the other is a normal, loving, healthy relationship. They will learn, with their impressionable minds, that it is okay to cheat on your partner, and that it is okay for your partner to cheat on you and to stay with them. They'll grow up with twisted ideas about relationships. I'm telling you, man, I grew up in a broken home. Constant fights, no display of affection, or any real affection at all. Guess what that got me? A personality disorder, that's what. You'll be heartbroken when you realize how you could have saved them. Either a healthy, happy relationship together or healthy parents, living separately. Limbo will mess them up for sure. Don't keep them in this situation for long. Nosmill21 adds, good luck to you and your daughter. You are living in a delusional world where you let your emotions rule over your logic, and things will not turn out good for you or your daughter. This woman doesn't love you. She was not remorseful. How long did she lie to you about it? Remorseful people don't lie and gaslight you the way she did. Seriously, hopefully, you don't stay too long to where her decisions start to damage your daughter.